Sam, that is unkind of you to just say poop. Okay, let's go. Welcome, Master Duelist, to the Master Duel Dojo. There are some who call me Tim. The price of Master Duel is too damn high. Look at all these staples. So, all of these cards are ultra rare and go into many, many decks. Surely you've seen all of these before, and maybe these even induce some salt in you. Maybe seeing these makes you a little angry. So there is a cost disparity in players who don't play a lot and are not skilled, and the players who are skilled and play a lot. There's two different metrics here, because the skilled players are able to win more games, get more gems, convert those gems into the cards they want. Ultra rares are the hardest cards in the game to get. I don't have any Purge or Ethers or any of the Primite stuff. None of the URs, because Load and Ether are both Ultra. I don't have any of these. I have all these other cards, as you can see, and some people would say my account is stocked. Some people would say my account is sparse, but I have a decent account here, and I've been playing for 3 years since it came out, but I have not made the wisest decisions, but I do still have a lot of cards. And so all of these cards are ultra and hard to come by, because UR craft points is the hardest resource to get in the game. And so it's really, really frustrating when you are new and you look at a deck list and it just has all of these cards in it. It's like almost all UR. Let me show you something. So this is the Malice deck I have been playing on ladder. There are no normal or rare cards in the deck except for cards that are then searched by something else. So there is one Takatomborg, one 07, one 06. That's it. And a couple in the extra deck. So in total, there's 5 non-super or ultra cards in this whole deck. The main deck plus the extra deck. And yeah, you can swap these around a little bit, but most decks don't look much different. And almost all of this is ultra, which is a problem. This is a problem because we want people to come to Master Duel. We want them to play Master Duel. And if they come in and they see that decks are too expensive, they will just leave. They will try to build their deck and walk away. So I don't have a proposed fix for this, because this is a Konami side fix. So let's just look at what it would look like. So Suships is low rarity. So let's just assume we want something like that. Okay, then we need to fill the rest of the deck out with something. And then the rest of the deck usually ends up looking something like this. And this is just an example. I'm not building the best Suship deck in the world. And everything that's not the Suship cards here is ultra. So what can we do about this? How can we help new players? We can help new players by giving them a specific list of not garbage cards, but replacement cards. This is the list I came up with. So some of these are in the shop in different ways. So the ultras here: Effect Veiler, the Ghost Girls, these 3, Nibiru, Talents, Lightning Storm, Droplet, Imperm, and Judgment are all available at 1 copy with a bundle for 750 gems. And if you don't know how to find that, come to shop, special, bundle deal, and then each of these come with 10 master packs, which is, you're going to pull on average 2.2 ultras in 10 packs that you can then dismantle for other things, because you're not going to get the cards you want. If you do, awesome. Like, people have said they pulled Max C out of the master pack, and I believe them, but it's not likely. There's some other ultras that are available in structure decks that can help fill out generic decks. So Magician Souls and Illusion of Chaos are in the Dark Magician structure deck. These are useful in decks that have a whole bunch of spells, or that wants the Magician Soul's body on the field, because Souls can summon itself for free, and then you can discard extra spells and traps to draw cards. Fusion Deployment is useful for fusion decks, uniquely, but that's in the Cyberdark structure deck. Signet Mining, I think, is in the Salaman Great structure deck. Trade-in is a useful card to know that you can get for free. For free, it's in the Galaxy structure deck. Red Eyes and Seals are very good cards, like generically in Dragon decks, and they're available in the Dragon Knight structure deck. You only need one copy of each. So what we're left with here is a pile of generic staples that you can still put in any deck, but are not ultra rare. And they all have different niche use cases, and most of the time they are worse than the ultra rare alternatives, but they're not ultra rare, so that's their upside. We have hand traps. The top half is all hand traps, and then the bottom half is just normal spells and traps. So DD Crow just banishes a card out of our opponent's graveyard. Very, very like unique effect. Not many other cards do this at all. Droll stops both players from adding cards from deck to hand after your opponent has once. So the most common uses are either Max C. So your opponent activates Max C. You then Droll yourself, like you activate Droll on your own turn, keep playing anyways. Or your opponent searches once, you Droll and hope that they need to continue searching to continue their combo. We have Psyframes. If you control no monsters, you can summon themselves from your hand and a Driver from anywhere to negate a monster or a spell. Skullmeister activates an effect that activates in the graveyard. Lancia. First time it's been like utilitarily, like universally useful is right now. But Lancia stops cards from being banished on your opponent's turn. The Bestials are big 2500 attack dragons that are like DD Crow, but eat a light or dark out of either graveyard. Chaos Hunter is similar to Lancia, very, very niche, but she can summon herself by discarding a card when your opponent summons, and your opponent can't banish cards. Phantasme is very, very useful when Link metas, so if your opponent summons a Link monster at all, if they special summon a Link monster, including from the graveyard, you can summon Phantasme, draw some cards, and put less cards back. And also he has a targeting protection effect. We have a couple of pots that draw generic cards. Like, they are niche in when you can use them, but are very, very good and are all limited because of that. Small World can turn any monster into any other monster. Book of Moon and Forbidden Chalice both solve monsters. So Book of Moon turns one face down, cannot target Link monsters because they can't go to defense. Chalice negates a monster's effect on the field. Cosmic Cyclone, Mystical Space Typhoon, and there's a couple others. Get rid of back row. Cosmic Cyclone is usually the most played because it banishes, and a lot of cards have effects in the graveyard now. Evenly Matched, I talked about it yesterday in Exodia. Very good. You can just banish your opponent's whole field. If you've never seen this card before, doesn't seem crazy, but what you do is you go straight to your battle phase when you go second, play Evenly Matched, and your opponent has to banish all but one card, because you control only Evenly Matched. So their whole field, if it's not negated, is gone. Come back to this. Fiendish Chain is a very, very slow card, because it's a trap card now. So like something like Forbidden Chalice, you can use when you go second. So your opponent summons a board, summons a bunch of monsters. You can Chalice their monster at any point during your turn, and keep playing. Fiendish Chain, because it's a trap card, requires you to set it before you can then use it starting on your opponent's next turn. So the first time Fiendish Chain is live, if you go second, is turn 3, which is very late in the game. Same with Dogmatic of Punishment. It's very, very slow. Fiendish Chain and Punishment are fine going first. They're actually quite good. Because you have to go second in about half your games, they're iffy to play. That's the problem with most trap cards. And Punishment sends a monster from your extra deck to the graveyard to destroy something, and there's some things that you can send that have extra effects that are not ultra rare. Garura and Entis are the most commonly played. So these fossil guys destroy card. They can banish themselves from the graveyard to destroy cards. Malong can target a face-up card your opponent controls and return it to the hand. Aggregator negates another face-up card's effects. And Ferrogy, if she's sent to the graveyard at all, you get to draw a card and then put a card from your hand on the bottom of the deck. Dragon Master Knight is a 5,000 attack rare for Dogmatic Punishment. That's all it is. You never summon this. Baguska, many decks play level 4 monsters, and this is a common plan B, even for competitive decks, when level 4s are good. And then Nightmare Phoenix and Cerberus is just generic Link 2s, 2 monsters with different names, very easy to accomplish. You discard a card and then destroy one card on the field. Cerberus destroys monsters in the main monster zone, special summon monsters. Phoenix destroys spells and traps. And then we also have the Charmers, which are they're all the same card, but they're attribute based, and they summon a monster from your opponent's graveyard with their shared attribute. And these are good in certain metas, but otherwise niche because your opponent has to be playing that attribute monster. Cards like Hita and Ausa, if you're playing fire or earth monsters, will always be good because cards like Maxi and Ash Blossom are earth and fire. So there will come a time when an earth deck is the best deck, and Ausa is seen in every extra deck because you can steal your opponent's Maxi. And then let's go to Duel Experts because it has things that I missed out on. So they include the Bystials. Lava Golem and other kaijus are generic removal that you can just tribute over your opponent's monsters. Book of Eclipse is like a super Book of Moon, but then your opponent gets the opportunity to draw some cards. Twin Twisters is another back row removal. Dimensional Barrier is a niche floodgate that stops exactly one type of thing from summoning that turn. I would not generically include this without a specific reason, even in budget decks, but is a good card. Ice Dragon's Prison is generically good, as is Solemn Warning. Like, these can go in any deck. We have some more kaijus, another kaiju-like card. We have some Floodgates, Dimensional Fissure, and Clockwork Knight. Torrential Tribute, where is it? Floodgate Trap Hole, Bottomless Trap Hole are basically the same card that when your opponent summons, get rid of it in one form or another. Very, very good cards, and they used to be some of the best cards in the game. The game has like been power corrupt, but these cards themselves are still very good. Yes, kaijus and lava golems, when they are allowed in events, are very good because the events are lower power, and this is another plea to craft staples. So events usually ban Maxi, but the rest of this is also usually legal. So let's look at the event here. So the Bystials are banned. Maxi is banned in just current event. All of the links are allowed except SP and Apo. All of the other spell traps are allowed. Grass is banned. Sark is banned. Evenly and Judgment are banned. But everything else, Impulse, Imperm, Called By, Cross Out, Talent, Thrust, Rhoda, Foolish, Regeki, Duster, Reborn, Heavy Storm, Mulch Armies, Ghost Girls, Veiler, Nib. You can play all of these in most events, and this is my plea to please craft the staples. Is that after you have your deck, you then need to fill it out with the ultra rare staples, but in the meantime, you can play with these worse, lower rarity cards, and then work into your crafting your staples. Your extra dust should be used on staples rather than a new deck. Because another thing is that all of these cards, so this is Master Duel Meta sorted by popularity. So all of these cards are the most used cards and go in almost every single deck. And because they go in almost every single deck, they will be useful for a very long time. If you learned anything, please remember to subscribe.